Hi, my name is Bianca Crowley, and I'm the Digital Collections Manager for the Biodiversity Heritage Library. I'm sorry we don't have a chance to meet each other in person this year. I was so looking forward to seeing you in Paris. These meetings are a great way for me to connect with existing partners, meet new partners, hear about the work that you're doing, and answer any questions you have about BHL collection management activities. My hope for this virtual meeting is that we learn new ways to connect with each other so that we can reap even more benefits next time we meet in person. Now I'm going to take you through my presentation about collection management activities over the past year called Stewarding a River of Content. In my role as Digital Collections Manager, I wear many hats. I support the BHL administration as part of the Secretariat with my colleagues Grace Costantino and Colleen Funkhauser, which I'm thrilled to have on board. Liaise with the technical team, serve as part of the cataloging group, support consortium partners like yourselves who have questions about our collection, lead our collections committee, manage permissions agreements from copyright holders, update and maintain documentation as best I can, and work within our Gemini issue tracking system or help desk to address and triage questions from users and partners. At the 2019 annual meeting, Connie Ronaldo discussed the idea that the next generation of BHL will be a big data bonanza, having a stronger focus on data extraction and linking collections. With the addition of data rich to our strategic goal number 1, I began to think more about BHL's collection as a river of data flowing in from a variety of sources and flowing out in many different ways. By contributing to the collection management cycle of content selection and curation, we serve as stewards, managing the flow of content into our collection, adding value to the content, and ensuring our content is useful downstream. Goals 1.1 and 1.2 pertain to the selection of materials and development of our collection. The content and data input into our collection comes from 4 main sources: BHL Consortium Partners, non-BHL content providers, permissions content providers, and metadata providers. Contributions from our members, affiliates, and partners continue to represent the majority of our collection. 80% of BHL contributions are from partners like yourselves. Thank you. Overall contributions from partners by the end of 2019 totaled more than 46 million pages, over 200,000 items, and 52,512 articles, or segments as we commonly refer to them in BHL. Of these totals, over 1.5 million pages were contributed in 2019 alone. The past year saw a 20% decrease in content contributed from 2018. The second source of content comes from providers outside our consortium. They include other institutions that contribute to the Internet Archive, as well as selected rights holders that grant permission for BHL to upload electronic-born materials. Contributors like the Wellcome Library and University of California libraries are examples of institutions contributing digitized volumes to the Internet Archive corpus, just as BHL does, complete with MarcXML metadata that are passively ingested into our collection using a criteria of biodiversity relevant subject keywords and call numbers. Rights holders, such as the International Congress of Entomology, provide permission for BHL to include in-copyright content, but instead of digitizing this content from our holdings, we upload existing digitized materials. In these cases, BHL attributes the rights holder as the source of the content since potentially no physical copy exists in our own holdings. Third source of content comes to us by way of rights holders that grant permission. In this case, we digitize their materials and make them available for open access in our collection. To date, BHL has received permission to include over 809 in-copyright titles, contributed by 365 licensors. Keep in mind there are more in-copyright materials contributed to BHL through individual institutions. These 809 represent those that have agreements on file with BHL Central. The fourth tributary of contributions comes in the way of metadata only. BioStore contributes article or segment citation data that articleizes existing content within our collection. Contributors such as Pensoft publishers add metadata about the books and articles they host on their own websites. Pensoft content is discoverable via BHL, but access to their content is available only as a link from BHL to Pensoft's website. Our collection development policy encourages contributors to deposit full text within BHL rather than link out, as the tools and services we provide, like taxonomic name finding, only work if the content is directly in our repository. Overall, our collection contains over 57 million pages of content, with 1.8 million new pages added in 2019. The past year saw a 3.25% growth rate, 1% lower than our growth rate in 2018. In summary, BHL contributions come from a variety of sources: BHL Consortium Partners, non-BHL content providers, permissions content providers, and metadata providers. Before moving on, I would like to thank Mike Lichtenberg, our lead developer, for implementing a very new feature in the BHL administrative dashboard to track statistics about our content. I'm now able to create content provider groups that help us better understand our content sources and makeup of our growing collection. So from data flowing into our collection, we amass a river of content upon which we add value through automated tools and services, as well as manually through curation activities. In addition to our website itself, our program provides a variety of services and tools that facilitate discovery of BHL content. Some of these services and tools add value through automated means, supported by the technical team. Other more manual processes help us to ensure reliability and accuracy of the collections by curating the collection. Some of the ways in which we add value to our content automatically are by providing a searchable index of a lot of free and open access biodiversity data, discovering over 193 million scientific name strings within the OCR text of our content, assigning over 136,000 DOIs to legacy monographs, allowing them opportunities to play in the new electronic citation research sphere, and using biostore.org to identify over 214,000 articles throughout our collection. The BHL collection is made more useful by partners who continually curate content to improve access and discovery. Curation and content enhancements include correcting page image errors, updating catalog records, reconciling creator names. We also work to add transcribed text for handwritten materials, and develop curated subcollections of content focused around particular subject matter or themes. Many of these value-add activities begin as inquiries submitted to BHL's help desk or Gemini issue tracking system. This system allows us to receive feedback from users about issues or problems they come across in the collection. It also provides a platform for staff to troubleshoot issues collaboratively and asynchronously over time. Analysis of our Gemini stats at the close of 2019 showed that we had over 2,000 open issues within our system, of which 450 were related directly to curation tasks, such as manually adding article metadata, correcting catalog records, updating page and item level metadata, and fixing page image errors. Besides BHL staff, 2 working groups within our program focus on the work of manually curating and enhancing BHL content: the cataloging group, as well as the collections committee. Cataloging group is chaired by Diana Duncan and includes myself, Joe DeVere, MJ Hahn, Davina Harrison, Iris Lee, Susan Lynch, Suzanne Pilsk, and Chris Robson. The group is involved in a variety of projects to enhance metadata quality and develop BHL cataloging best practices. We work closely with the tech team to run reports, perform data analysis, and develop requirements to improve our data set. The collections committee is chaired by myself and includes people from many institutions across our consortium, as you can see listed here. Our committee works to maintain and update our collection development policy, as well as support outreach, campaigns, and sub-collection development. Over the past year, we developed a policy to add supplementary links to BHL titles via the More Content Available From link, and explored controlled digital lending as possible enhancement to the collection. Ultimately, our group expressed some concerns about CDL's impact on our open access principles and discussed whether or not CDL was really within scope to pursue for our program. For the future, BHL will add value to its content by identifying data that can support global challenges. By parsing out these data sets with regard to specimen numbers, species descriptions, and climate data, for example, we can better package our collection as an invaluable source of data for the biodiversity research community. Another aspect of BHL's collection management goal is to define the BHL collection as a data resource, as well as a digital library to support big data approaches. So how can BHL serve as a data resource, and where does the content flow out from our collection? The obvious downstream benefit of our content is at the core of our vision and mission to support research and scholarly publications. As evidenced through our usage statistics, inquiries from users, the success of our outreach efforts, training programs provided by BHL staff, and the countless interactions we have with our users both physically and virtually, we have established ourselves as a trusted resource in the global biodiversity community. With over 193 million taxonomic name occurrences, our content can be linked to other datasets. These major nomenclators represent some of the platforms dynamically linking to BHL content via scientific name strings. Data about the books and volumes in our collection is available via the Digital Public Library of America. I'm also very pleased to report that BHL has successfully deposited its initial load of records into OCLC WorldCat. The cataloging group and tech team are working with OCLC to devise workflows for depositing new records and communicating updates to existing records. In our latest news, we have also successfully implemented the KBART schema for BHL books and journals so that they may become discoverable within index-based discovery services, such as OCLC's knowledge base. Integration of this data into other tools like Summon and Primo are forthcoming. Please stay tuned. And many thanks to the efforts of Nicole Kearney, Rod Page, and our technical team. A downstream effect was achieved last summer to expose BHL open access articles through UnPaywall, a service that finds legally open access versions of paywalled literature. Thousands of open access articles in BHL are now even more available to researchers worldwide. As BHL is able to increase the number of articles in our collection and DOIs, we will be able to expose even more content through UnPaywall in the future. With over 170,000 images in Flickr, spectacular pictures of animals and plants within our collection are freely available for enjoyment, download, and reuse. Started back in March of 2011, Flickr required then that we attribute a Creative Commons attribution license to our images despite their otherwise public domain status. At the close of 2019, we developed a workflow to systematically update licenses for our images to the public domain. As you can see for this image here in the lower right, to more fully extend opportunities for BHL image reuse. Some of the most interesting downstream effects are the programmatic reuse of our data by an untold number of people and projects. BHL provides a variety of methods to facilitate machine-to-machine reuse of our content via data exports, application programming interfaces, citation linking via OpenURL, OAI PMH, and providing our code and documentation as open source. And of course, many thanks to the skilled hands of Grace Costantino, outreach and promotion are, of course, downstream outflows of our collection that support Goal 3, increase global awareness about the BHL and biodiversity issues to inform existing users and attract new user communities. As we move into our next strategic plan for BHL, we will continue to steward our collection by facilitating existing inflows of content while fostering new ones, adding value to our content to better support users who rely on BHL as a key resource, and expanding opportunities for downstream reuse of our content and services. In considering BHL as a river of content, I am reminded that a good approach is to go with the flow. Thank you all for your contributions to the BHL collection, and I look forward to working with you in the future.